Alright, so in this one, we are going to be doing my final top 10 list of Dragon Ball Legends Legends Fest 2023. Obviously, part 1 had a top 10, part 2 had a top 10, part 3 had a top 10. I do wonder how the differences between 1, 2, and 3 are. I probably will have it on screen, each tier list so far, somewhere alongside this video. If not, then, go check it out, the other tier list, just to kind of compare. But do have it here, do have my opinion kind of formulated on everything that's going on with the new release of Ultra by Omen. Obviously, the new Ultra of the newest celebration is going to be a huge, I guess, not improvement, but a huge effect of the meta that's going to happen. And Omen does not fail in that aspect. UVB didn't fail there, UGB, USG, all these characters during their big celebrations did not fail, and Omen is no exception to that. So, to just get into it, to mention units that aren't on it, that you might think should be on it. And I'll kind of go into a little bit of detail why they're not on it. Goku Frieza, why they're not on it. This unit is purple, Omen exists, and he is just murdered every purple, for lack of a better term. And also, you become a blue character with Goku Frieza, you have an issue where you can see a couple, green units here, right? Pikkon Gogeta, Revui, Evo Ken, Bardock Goku. You have 4 green units right there, which can cause a dilemma. And then on top of that, you also are not having a perfect team for them. Where do you run Goku Frieza ideally? Probably on a Strike Reps or LOE, kind of both subpar teams to the best teams in the game. And even more so than that, to even more reiterate a point that's existed prior, is that Rising Rush. Rising Rush has been slowed down quite significantly. If not, Revival exists, Indestructible now exists, all these mechanics. So you don't even have a means to rush very early on for most parts of matches against most teams. And from there, that actually does devalue their rush protection, because you don't have to rush as early, because you can't rush regardless as early. So I do think they do lose their value to not be top 10 Goku Frieza. Sell all these characters. Jiren was 4 for me last time. I know this guy went all the way down to below top 10, because again, Omen has just murdered the color purple. That color does not exist. You cannot run purple right now and be safe. There's no one unit that's good enough individually that's a purple that's just like, yup, I can do this. It just doesn't really happen right now. Even Omen being a yellow, he's the only individual based yellow that's good enough to be in the meta, because these reds are so strong, it means something, right? So we'll just touching on those to get them out of the way. But that is characters I do not think that probably could be argued for. People would be like, huh, where are they? They're not on the list. That's why. And, well, let's get into who is on the list. Number 10 here, I do think Revui. Now, I've mentioned a couple of times here, if you've seen all the other videos, or any of the other videos, really, that Reps has 2 setups. Reps does have a situation where Omen does not flow perfectly on Reps, where Reps kind of hits a, I guess, deterrent, for more accurate term, is that Omen can individually solo a team, right? So you have Omen kind of just going through, doing his own thing, doing his solo mechanics and doing his solo work, and then from there, you don't really use Evo Ken. So they're really just not doing anything. I guess that's kind of value, that they don't have to do anything, because that means Omen's just so good. But why not just run Omen on a better team, right? What you do, ideally for Reps, because you're not always going to get Evo Ken ramped up, because again, Omen is just doing everything the entire match. You would run a setup where you have double greens. You can run double greens. As I mentioned, you're not running into purples. You're not running into Cell, UGB, Jiren, Goku Frieza, whoever else, all these other purples, you're not running into them. They just don't exist in the meta. They're not running around because people are scared. Omen is very good. People are scared. He's a hype character. People summon. People are scared. And that makes complete sense. So running double greens with Evo Ken and Revui and LS17, you have the safety of Revival there, which is very nice. Again, the rush protection. While Reps is definitely one of the squishiest teams, that is a very good team right now, because Revui is definitely not any Jiren level of tank, right? He's just kind of a Revival character, kind of like a Pikkon vibe there, but he's just doing more damage than Pikkon would. He's really just an offense Pikkon Revui, at least in the pre-Revival state there. You do have at least some type of neutrality. If there is somehow a purple, I don't think that would ever happen in the current meta, that people are going to run a purple, but if there is a purple, you could go type neutral with him. Also, you could tag out, have the opposite side of Evo Vegeta to Kaioken Goku do that as well. But really, what you want here is safety. So Revui, that's your best safety. You could try Jiren, but again, he's purple. He's kind of getting nuked out of the ass here. And if you want to run pure Reps, what else third is there? You want to run yellow Jiren? Okay, run into Beast Gohan. You're getting 2-carded. LS17 can't save you. You have very squishy situations, and every other character besides Revui is not giving you enough protection. Revui, even if he is squishy himself, he does have Revival, and that's protection enough to where you would say, yeah, I don't have to use him the entire match because, you know, he doesn't have to really build up. He even loses build up in post-Revival state from his Super Saiyan Blue state. Just let Evo Ken cook, and then from there, okay, Revui has value in just being a Revival character, being solid damage, being a range-based blue card as well. I know it's not as, you know, effective right now because Janemba is not being seen as much, but it still is effective, right? Having just a projectile blue that can just like get a vanish out into a rush type of thing or something similar to that. Revui has gained a lot of stock here because of purples falling down. It just makes sense. The green units go up, purples fall down. That's just the logic of the game. Because the strong yellow came out and the strong yellow is being run very consistently. So Revui, I do have number 10 here. I do think he is a very good option. I think he's actually the only real option for a pure reps team with LS17, Evo Ken, Revui. If you want to run Omen, Revui, LS17, you could do that as well, but I do think the Evo Ken setup is better, because Evo Ken, when they're like going and they like do everything, they quite literally cannot be stopped. They will just kill everything in sight. They'll have so much just everything going on. Like, this unit is still very good late game, but they do have to go down a little bit because their best team got hurt by Omen. Their team didn't get buffed by Omen. It got hurt by Omen because they do not synergize together in just an effective manner. A lot of people have seen this already, and I don't think it's getting enough light, I guess. But to point out more, again, Evo Ken and Omen just do not have synergy because both can individually do their own thing, and it's like Omen does it faster earlier games. Why would you ever go to Evo Ken ever? So you're just letting Omen always do it, which makes Evo Ken not do anything, which means their value goes down because they're not doing anything. So exactly the point there, why you run Revui instead, so you can actually let your build-up character build up. They need to be prioritized. If not prioritized, Evo Ken look like air. Number 9 here. I actually do have Ape Vegeta. If you didn't see the last video prior to this, probably will be at the end here of this video. Ape Vegeta, that setup I built for him, I do think is his best setup. I do think it is probably arguably Bardock and Goku's best setup as well, but I'll get into that further on when we get to Bardock and Goku. But Ape Vegeta, listen, he can't be debuffed on his, he can be debuffed on his ultimate, but he cancels attribute downgrades. So while Omen, and obviously Ape Vegeta gain value because he's meant to deal with Omen, right? He's probably the best counter, in my opinion, in a, overall mannerism, because you could touch on Beast, which we'll touch on in the future, but you could argue Ape or Beast is the best counter. I personally think it's Ape Vegeta because he cancels the attribute downgrade. So Omen does that minus 50% to ult. He's going to be defense neutral versus the big ult, but then he's canceling that minus 50%. So Ape Vegeta is having his full damage. I've had it where Ape Vegeta did, I think it was like a 14-star, 12-star Omen, that Ape Vegeta did like 90%, 100% to like fucking 100k, 200k HP, and the only reason they lived is because LS17 was on the sidelines, and quite really, from my experience, you're not even running LS17 with Omen that often from like what I'm garnering in my own experience, so he would actually die in most settings there, just LS17 saved him, which LS17, by the way, does make the list, that's why he's here. He is a resurgence for me. But Ape Vegeta, that team with the spamming AoE green cards, Pikkon, Bardock, Goku, and then Ape Vegeta is just super strong. Ape Vegeta obviously is just going to be very good against the current meta. He's a very anti-meta unit. He does more to Sun Family, does more to Blues, does more to Goku. Like, he's very anti-meta. You have Goku there of Omen. You have Goku of Revui. You have Goku of Evo Vegeta and Kaioken Goku. You have a blue unit, LS17, Janemba. You have Bardock Goku. You have Beast Gohan. There's a lot of Sun Family / Goku / Blues running around, and Ape Vegeta is thriving because of those units getting an increase in value or just staying where their value was. And again, I would just say his peak is now. I don't think this character will get much better from here. As again, his best team is just spamming AoE greens because Pikkon's a supplement for that, and then you have another unit alongside yourself, which is very good protection with Indestructible. He doesn't get better than this, but I do think Ape Vegeta does make top 10. The reason I have him over Revui is because how that team, the safety of Ape Vegeta's team over Revui's, which again, I did admit that Unireps is pretty squishy with the new Unireps you'd run. I just think the protection Ape's team of Revival, Endurance, only 2 units can rush Ape Vegeta, that's meta. Omen, post-main, then UVB. Only 2 units can rush him. So you have a lot of safety there, even with Endurance only, and then Indestructible. It's just too easy for Ape Vegeta's team to not have him higher than Revui here. Now to continue, number 8, we do have LF17. Now, obviously, I had this guy off top 10. I thought he just didn't need to be run. I didn't see the value for him, and obviously he gained value, right? Omen comes out, blue-yellow, color synergy. get that, spooky protector against those red units, which does help. I don't think it's perfect, because again, LS17 does not tank hits, as he is a quite old unit at this point, 10 to 11 months right now, right? And he's a little bit less damage reduction than I believe the current. I think he has 60%, while most units are getting like the 65-70%. So actually, again, he's just worse off tanking, which it would make sense. He's older, but yeah. Again, Reps is still a solid team. It's not like the team is bad inherently. It's just that it's pretty easy to kill off. But that's the only place you run him. If you want to leader slot this guy, you probably could argue it. But again, you are having... There's greens here, man. You're looking at this list, you're seeing greens, and it's like, you could throw him on leader. I guess it could work. I did try it with, like, what was it, Pikkon, Omen, LS17. That's really more a 1v3 team. You can make it work. I made it work, right? But it was just more to see different teams for Omen. And LS17 is a good... staple character. He's a good just, have in the back pocket, helping you out passively throughout the match. You know what he does. I know what he does. Not much more to go into. Just that he gained more value because a yellow dropped. He's a blue protector. Not a great protector, again, but he is still a protector, which does just have to give him value to where he would be higher than where he was prior. If he was off the list, now he's back on the list, and he is just overall better than Ape and Revui, and just what his utility sense is comparably to what those two can do in their utility senses. Now, 6/7, 6/7, as you can see here, I do say they can be swapped. I genuinely cannot differentiate these characters. I mean, if I put 1 and 6, 1 and 7, that does not mean I'm agreeing one's higher than the other. I can't swap these two. I can't just put a placement for them. Now, 4 and 5 are kind of like a similar thing, but it's very, very specific why I have one over the other. 6/7, I guess I'll just plot both on here, is going to be UVB at 7/6, and then Evo Ken Vegeta / Goku at 6. Now, the reason I'm more leaning toward Evo Ken, I'll get into after UVB, but UVB, I do think, has to lose some value. I do not think this character is very good against Omen. For one, you have characters like Hit, like Ape Vegeta, like I mentioned already with Ape Vegeta, that cancel attribute downgrades on their ult. UVB does not do that. So if you were to do UVB where you were to do a drop combo into UVB swap in, as you typically do, you can't do that versus Omen. He auto dodges. Okay, let's say you catch him mid combo and just keep going. Well, you do a strike, he auto dodges. You do a blue card, he auto dodges. You do an ultimate, he's going type neutral and debuffing your ult 50%. UVB does not particularly gain or lose value because this yellow dropped. Clearly he is a red, so he would ideally gain value, but because of what Omen is specifically as a character with his auto dodging mechanics, with the way he is auto dodging dash forwards and getting these defense neutrals and all this stuff, it really doesn't make UVB gain more shine or lose much shine. He just kind of still exists as a character. He's still very good. It's just, you would think he gets a lot higher because of the new yellow, but then the new yellow has traits that don't make UVB gain more, I guess, reason to be used. I can't think of more reason to use him, because again, the reason I just stated, just auto dodging. He's just going to auto dodge basically everything. If you're not going to auto dodge, you do an ult, he's defense neutral, and he has that minus 50% debuff. Omen's not dying to that ult from UVB. I don't care if it's a raw ult, and Omen will live a raw ult from a raw UVB, 14-star, 14-star, both units, Zenka buff on both units, both, like, he's not killing at all, matter of fact, it's not even close. Maybe to like 50-60% it does, but that's not killing him, that's not a kill, and you'd want that from your red to a yellow. It doesn't happen. So UV, again, he doesn't gain or lose value. I just think he stays in a more stagnant positioning. I guess you could say his team overall is not as strong because, yes, UGB was kind of a, decent 4th, 3rd option that could be run on fusions. Future takes a bigger hit even now because Cell just kind of falls off the entire map. I didn't think Cell was particularly in the worst spot last time, but now, oh my fucking god, why would I use Cell right now? So, in an overall team basis, UVB has to go down because his teammates are just falling lower, but UVB himself has not changed in any direction. It's just more, he doesn't gain when there's a new yellow, and you just assume that's going to happen. It doesn't, though. He just doesn't have the traits to gain more value because of the yellow existing, as the reason I just stated. Then Evo Ken / Vegeta. Now, the reason that they have lowered is because, again, reps. They took a big hit. Omen releasing actually nerfed reps and buffed other teams, while you would anticipate, the opposite to happen, where reps would gain a lot more value, which it does gain value in its own sense, but with Evo Ken, they're the ones losing value. Again, this unit is basically just forced. You have to prioritize them, and that's not a problem, but you can't force prioritize 2 force priority units. So you can't run Omen Evo Ken together, whether you want to or not. It's just not ideal. There's better setups. You want a leader, Pikkon on reps. You want to run Revui. You want to run whoever. This range-based unit that just kind of flows. I would say Pikkon probably is the best setting because he spawns green cards, right? So green, green, blue. You can do that pretty safely right now because, again, no one's running a fucking purple. And if you are running to a purple, you could just tag out to Goku's side if that, 1 in a million chance does happen. Just, it's not common. But they would lose value because they cannot pair with the partner they would like to, and then their team becomes squishy. Again, Jiren made this team very durable, very hard to kill overall, right? Omen coming out makes it where you could just get a very easy setting, specifically against reps. Right now, if you don't run Revui, if you're running Evo Ken, Omen, LS17, if I pop my Omen's main ability and Evo Ken or Omen is already in, okay, I press my rush button, someone's dead. LS17 would die because I have Endurance Null. He wasn't in prior, so I land 1 priority. I have main. Someone's dead. LS17, Omen, or Evo Ken. And then you just kind of have a fall apart situation where LS17 can't really do his double vanish, can't do his own self utility. Omen flat out dies, or Evo Ken flat out dies, and it's like one of your main damage dealers is dead. While that can give more situation for the other two pop off. Like if Omen dies first, Evo Ken has better potential pop off because they get their stuff faster. It's just, it would be better off to have a safety, and then that safety of Revui is just more insignificant to compare to other units that are on this list because, well, he's just older. He's just not doing as much as the other units on this list, like Pikkon doing his thing in his pre-revival compared to Goku in his Super Saiyan Blue state. There's just more going on, the more synergies of teams, etc. So while Evo Ken are still that guy and still those two duo as a very good unit, their team has taken a hit to where you can't run the ideal thing of green-yellow together because you just don't do both units. Both units do not do stuff in that match setting. It will be one character, usually Omen, because Omen's just easier and faster to do, that's carrying the entire match. Evo Ken can help. I'm sure the settings they can do very well with Omen, but it's more rare than not, and the smarter thing is just to have a double green. Have a revival safety. Why have Omen when I have revival safety and Evo Ken popping off regardless? You need to prioritize a character which actually does hurt them and dwindle a placement for them here, in my opinion. Number 5 will be Bardock and Goku. Now, again, there's a couple teams for this character. I would say their best, once again, is if you want to take off Ape on the team, it's fine. You want to do, like, Beast, Bardock, Goku, and Pikkon, Gogeta. What's the dilemma there? Literally, you have no dilemma, right? You have a green, okay, you could do double greens. We've established this already. You have Beast Gohan, who's just a very strong unit. You could get easy, 50% EXZ ability there. All that, yada, yada, yada. Great time, fun time. But even more so, this unit just does a lot. This unit just hurts a lot. Indestructible, while it's not the perfect mechanic you would like, again, Revival I just see as a better mechanic, as it does do a more resets, a more controlled setting for yourself. Indestructible is more hectic because you're still going on the combo. It's not like the combo's done. Sometimes it just can keep extending, but like it's just more hectic. So while it is a good mechanic, it's not a perfect mechanic, which that's fine. Honestly, it's the first iteration of one, so I don't mind it. Bardock, Goku, though, they're just so easy to use. They obviously gain value because, again, you're not running to purple. So what the issue was for me prior with this unit was that they run into Jiren and they're running into Uni Reps. And Uni Reps was very common, still is common. Evo Ken, okay, Vegeta soaks up the Goku side. Jiren soaks up the Bardock side. So what the fuck do you do? Now with that unit of being gone of Jiren, the Bardock side, the best side of damage, is now gaining immense value. He can just do his thing. He has no dilemma. He has no purple to worry about. He's just doing his thing. And that's why they gain value for me here. Also have more realized and used, say, in rosters for this character, and, just seeing the light of, wow, this character with another just overall solid character of, let's say, Pikkon Gogeta, let's say, Beast Gohan, let's say, whatever. The value of this character is very good as an individual basis. And again, while Indestructible is not the perfect mechanic, it does do the job it is meant to do, which is just be kind of a chore to deal with, and then this unit can still pop off post that. So it's good on them for making it. I'm glad they made this mechanic at least decent enough. They've done bad iterations, the Blue Duo being a very terrible iteration of a first mechanic. They've done it here where they actually did it to a competent setting. I don't think it's great. Again, it could have been a lot better. It should be a lot better, but they made this mechanic competent enough, and I think that's enough value to place this unit in top 5. Now, number 4. I actually had it to where 4 and 5 could be swapped, but I actually changed my mind after more usage of playtime here, where it is Pikkon Gogeta. Now, at this rate, I just consider Pikkon Gogeta what LS17 was on this release. Just the leader slot god, right? What you do with LS17 was, Okay, androids, you want to just slap on a team? Okay, leader slot that one unit you want to use for like a show off or a testing setting, then run them with LS17, then whoever the fuck else third. And that's what Pikkon Gogeta kind of have become for me. Because think about their teams. I'm saying them on a Saiyan roster with Bardock Goku. That's one team. I'm saying them on reps. That's another team. By the way, they can do strike or blast, so they're chilling. You say them on fusions. That's another team. You say them on a movie setting. That's another team. You say them on a Sun Family setting. That's another team. There's so many teams this unit fits, and their value just has to be immensely, higher because of that. This unit fits so well, even if they're not being this best peak god than their own selves, and I think that's perfectly fine. Their value has to rise over the fact that, one, they're green, so purples just go down, so the greens have to go up again. The simple logic does exist right there. And then more so than that fact, it's that green card spawning, bro. You got Ape Vegeta here. Okay, AoE green card. You got Bardock Goku. Okay, AoE green card. You got Evo Ken. Amazing green card. LS17, amazing green card. Omen, very good green card. That's literally how he gets cover null. Janemba, amazing green card. Beast, amazing green card. Pikkon himself, pretty fucking annoying green card. The spawning of that, the safety of the revival, the cardinal speed disruption that they do the debuff for when they cover in, the key reduction, these things all just kind of add up and accumulate as this unit just keeps going higher and higher and higher. And they just love to gas up this unit to put the value so high. They just made purples diminish. So obviously this unit would go higher because they're on the most teams. They're doing the most stuff for these teams on an overall utility sense. And even when you do go into Gogeta, which I honestly rarely do at this point, because the team is doing so well on synergy that you don't even struggle at most points of the match. But if you do go to Gogeta, you're still having very good damage. You have the same thing as Revui with that long-range blue card, which gives you value as well. Because Janemba still does exist. He's still in the top 3 for me. So you want to have that still. And I just think Pikkon Gogeta, initially it was like, why the fuck do they even exist? Why are they here, right? And, well, I guess we know why they're here now, because they're meant to just be slapped on anywhere, because they're a mixed unit that can be either or. The issue with Orange Piccolo, and I didn't mention him because I don't think he's top 10 for most people. If you want to mention him, sure, we're here. Timestamp if you want to talk about Orange Piccolo. 22 minutes into the video. Orange Piccolo, he's just strike-based. He's a second option on movies and is also strike-based. Well, this unit can be strike or blast-based. Having more value of being a switchable unit, like Revui can be more switchable, Beast Gohan can be switchable, etc. Whoever else can be switchable here, that's just going to give you more team synergy. So you have Pikkon Gogeta doing that same thing, Revui doing that same thing, and etc. from there, and that just makes the value just up and up and up. And Piccolo, while he does exist and he's very good as a overall unit, he's nothing crazy different from Pikkon Gogeta. It's just that he doesn't have the flow of them, the synergies of them, the spawnings, overall everything. Pikkon Gogeta just flow better on every single sub they can do, even equip-wise, every single situation-wise. It's just a better flow with Pikkon Gogeta. It just is. And Piccolo has one team. Pikkon Gogeta have fucking 4 to 5 if you want to throw them on anywhere, which you can because greens are free. Number three for me is going to be Mr. Janemba. He was my number 1. Pretty handedly, actually. I was, teetering this Beast Janemba thing for a good minute, but I did end up following with Janemba. But he does fall down, as I am mentioning, is a very common sense thing. Greens go up, okay, because purples are down with the strong yellow. That means, well, obviously, the blue got to go down a little bit, right? That makes sense. And that's the case. You're running into much more Bardock Gokus. I see Evo Ken as much as I used to. Pikkon Gogeta, Jesus fucking Christ, this character is very common. Revui, I've actually seen an okay amount, surprisingly, more than Ape Vegeta, but I just hope Ape Vegeta gets more, usage out of players here so they realize he's very good against Omen, but if you own Beast, it doesn't matter. It's just another sub-option, right? Though, again, Ape Vegeta on Saiyans is a very good roster. Janemba, though, other than have the greatest teams, you could probably say 2 teams, maybe 3 if you want to cope it. Fusions, you leader slot him there, that's a team. Movies, obviously his main team. And then if you want to say him on Saiyans, I guess you want to do Janemba, Pikkon, and Bardock Goku. What's stopping you? Really, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. You're going to get the easy Zenkai buffs, you're going to get the easy Z abilities. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You kind of just slap him anywhere. He has an ultra, so you can't just do that very easily. Not restricted in any sense of the word, and you have green card spawning, so he thrives even more. He's still very powerful. He's still not caring if you're green. He just beats the ever living shit out of you once he does ramp up, similar to Omen. They ramp up in a similar sense, if not the same exact sense. He still does his job very well. It's just that more greens are out, so the blue unit goes down. That's really it. There's not much else to it. I don't even have to go more detail because there's nothing else I really can't say about it. Number 2. Take a sip of coffee here. Number 2, I have the new Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. Now, I've had it where it was 1A, 1B for a good, chunk of time when this character first released and the first few days, and it's still the first few days, couple days in. But what I've seen from Beast, and I'll touch on again once we get there, is more value. Just simply put, more value. Now, Omen, touch on why he's number 2. His character is, and it's pretty wild, by the way, that most people are probably saying he's top 3. There's no purples, and this yellow is top 3. Just saying, just put that out there. That's fucking crazy to me. There's no purples, and this yellow is top 3. You would think there has to be some purples here. That's oh, it makes sense why he's top 3. He murdered their lineage. Purple is in the cemetery right now. That's how strong this character is. That's how you know he's a fucking god. Omen, though, the early game potential of his snipage is... he kind of reminds me of a similar Janemba. More, honestly, he's just an upgraded Janemba to me. He ramps up the same as Janemba when he's doing his cards on Striker Blast. Janemba ramps up the same fucking thing. Just do Striker Blast, you're ramping up. Okay, you're going crazy. And then from there, you get a very early game setting. I've had it a lot. I had a 13-star Evo Ken that was Zenkai buffed. I did 2 blasts. This happened in 6 counts. The character died. 2 blasts from my Omen, right? Okay, I got them to what, 50%, 60%? They heal a little bit. The enemy swaps. They have LS17 on the sideline. Omen kills. A 13-star Evo Ken with a Zenkai buff bench. It kills. It's 6 counts into the match. Evo Ken's dead. Because I did 2 spam blasts. You were forced to run characters. I think the notion of where a character is too good or very, very strong to where it's a little bit above the others is where you are starting to be forced to run characters against it. And Omen forced you to run characters. You are forced to run, maybe not every time a red specifically, but a mitigator. So if you want to run a revival to deal with Omen's oppression that he can cause with the lock-in, okay, then you're running that. If you want to deal with, the oppression by running a utility of LS17 to debuff it, okay, you do that. Or your own Omen to debuff the ults, right? You do that. Or if you just want to be doing it simply, you run a red unit, and you just do that to, again, kind of mitigate his oppression, but that's exactly it. You are being forced to start to run revival, mitigators, or just a simple red to stop Omen from fucking your entire life in a match. And if you're not doing that, if you're not prepared for Omen to basically kill your entire team as quickly as he can do, you lose the match before you even started the match. And that's exactly the power of him. There's not much details I really have to touch on. I mean, we know what he does, right? He's destroying Dragon Balls on his leaving 2 times, which, that's fucking crazy, by the way. I don't know why the fuck he does that. He's going type neutral on these big moves. He has the auto dodge when they're doing dash forward attacks, so they do a dash forward blue, which, holy shit, look at the dash forward attacks here. Okay, Janemba, Omen himself, Bardock Goku, Evo Ken, UVB, Ape Vegeta, not Revui, well, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, etc. And then units that aren't even on this list are doing dash forwards. Piccolo, for example, who would maybe be on this list. Goku Frieza, who would maybe be on this list. Dash forwards, right? He's just backflipping 8 times, and then, nah, I'm outie. 3 times he does that. The power of him, bro. He's just too strong. Again, he removes Vanish when you do a rush, man. So if I were to rush, I guess I have no Vanish. What? Come on, dude. This unit just doing too much. His damage is way too fast, way too good. Could he fall off in a faster mannerism than other Ultras? I do think that's possible, but for right now, where we're at here, this guy just does too much fucking damage. I mean, that's really the simplistic point of view I have here. He just does too much while being basically a better Janemba in his utility sense. He has better stay-in prowess than Janemba because of the gauge, and then he has better just potential of output being bursted because he's doing range-based attacks and no one's running blast defense. Most units are giving, if you're a range-based unit, a lot of the time you're giving blast attack, strike defense. If you're a strike-based unit, you're giving strike attack and defense. So when you have Omen doing burst blast off of green card as well, you're losing 60% of your health, and it's I'm I'm the same fucking star as this guy. How the fuck did that just happen to me? And you're wondering, oh shit, no one has blast defense right now. So he's just gaining even more value. And this unit, again, it's impeccable. This character is top 2 for me, while there is no fucking purples. You would think there'd be a purple here to, like, warrant the top 2. It's like, yeah, he's stopping this guy from existing. It's great. He's not stopping anybody from existing. He is nuking their lineage. He nuked the purple lineage. Now, that'll resurgence one day, and he will gain value because of that. But right now, he's not even here because he beats purples. He's here because he's so overly strong in his own right against everybody. And that's why he's top 2. On top of, Jesus fucking Christ, his teams, you just slap anywhere. Very good partner with Gohan, which, by the way, number 1 is Ultimate Gohan here. I mean, hey, Gohan Ball Legends, am I right? We kind of had this where it was very similar last year, or rather, anniversary. Goku Frieza and UVB, while UVB was on boost with Goku Frieza, I think most people had it where it was like 1-2, but it was very close for those characters to be like 1-2, right? It's very close with this here, with Ultimate Gohan and, you know, Mr. Omen here. But number 1 for Gohan, for one, this guy's overall sense of just he can swap teams very often. Again, I kind of made that point with Gogeta here. Gohan is no different. You want to build him strike based on movies? Go for it. You want to build him blast based with Omen? Go for it. His stat gap is like 2-3k. He actually gives 30% blast support to his allies, so he's also doing that for Omen, which I assume was on intention. I couldn't even fucking tell you. A lot of teams a lot of players right now are running teams with actually double reds because they're so scared of Omen being Beast and Pan together with whatever third. I've seen like Puddle third, LS17 third, whatever, just kind of like glazing up their Beast so they can just beat the shit out of Omen because they're scared of Omen. That's how strong he is. He's making so many reds just come out of the woodworks, and it's like, holy shit, that's some power. And, you know, go on his. There's not much I have to talk about. He gets advantages. He gets infinite green cards. He's running with fucking Pikkon, which I'm glazing the fuck out of Pikkon here. Like, Gohan's Gohan. So, I don't think there's much detail to go into. But, yeah, this would be my top 10 list. Gohan, he prevails overall. Again, I had it where it was 1A, 1B, but I did overall kind of notice that, like, yes, Omen does struggle when there is a double red setting, and being double red right now, there's not really a problem to run double red, especially if you have good green. Let's say you do Pan, Beast, Pikkon, Gogeta. Okay, well, kind of have Pikkon, Gogeta to deal with, like, Janemba if he does exist, and Janemba's not very common right now, just because the new shit came out, people are running the new shit, so you wouldn't really struggle, right? Double reds is pretty easy to do right now, because L17, not really a damaging guy, Janemba, not really that common, and Goku, with Bardock Goku, he's not a damage guy either, so it's like, you're just kind of free to do whatever the fuck you want with double reds, which would make Omen have to go down, whether it be double reds of Beast UVB, Beast Ape, UVB, Beast, whatever. The double red setting is pretty easy right now, so Beast would be number 1, Omen number 2, Janemba number 3, Pikkon Gogeta number 4, Bardock and Goku number 5, Evo Ken, Vegeta and Goku number 6, / can be 7, UVB at 7 / can be 6, MVP 17 at number 8, Ape Vegeta at number 9, and Revui at number 10. What would you guys think of my top 10 list at the end of Legends Fest 2023? I'll see you guys in the next one.